Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great today. Thank you again for being here. Hope that you're having some fun out in the world today, doing something for the first time or just doing something for yourself. I'm having my cup of tea this morning. I'm drinking a herbal soothing melange of ginger and rose. I love this box. And it's a really nice tea, but very beautiful, soft tea. Hope that you've got something that you're enjoying as well and taking very good care of yourself. Cheers. This is what this is all about at 60 and Me, is providing a place where you can come and feel comfortable and safe and supported. And that's what we try to do every time that we do these videos and on topics that you've told us are of interest to you. So we've got something interesting to chat about today. But first, I want to remind you that our sponsor for today's show is International Living. As you know, International Living is a company that has ambassadors, people all over the world in areas that they think would be of interest for retiring abroad. So if you're thinking of moving to a place like Thailand or Ecuador, Costa Rica, they have got someone there, boots on the ground, doing the work of comparing all the different aspects of life in those countries. And then they put together a global index, which they are prepared to share with us free of charge. So just go up to internationalliving.com/60andme, and they'll send you a free copy of this retirement index. No obligation or charge. So thanks to International Living for sponsoring us today. Now, okay, New Year's begun. We're starting all our great intentions for the new year. We've probably, amongst our lists, put the things about eating well, changing our eating habits or just better habits to lose weight and stay fit in our 60s. And now we're getting on to the end of the year, and it's like, well, it's not working. The plan isn't working. What am I supposed to do? I've done all the things you told me to do, whichever one you're following, but it's just not working. So what are the practical tips? And I think this is a really, really good point, because I think that you can start off with the best of intentions. It's not like you're breaking your resolution or not following through on your intention, but just sometimes it doesn't work. And you've done it. You've done everything you were supposed to do. And especially with losing weight, I think it's a very, very sensitive topic. Now, Carol Donaldson is one of our bloggers, and she is a nutritionist, and she actually wrote this article about weight, our attitude to food. And I think, honestly, this was the most useful conversation that I've seen about this topic. She's a registered dietitian, so she knows her stuff, but she's also struggling with these issues herself. So I think that's what makes it so powerful. Now, extra weight causes all kinds of problems, right? Of course, we feel tired. We feel lethargic. We may feel depressed. We feel, that we just don't want to be visible. We just want to be invisible because we don't like the way our body looks or the way that it feels. It may be affecting our relationships. There's so many things that, can be a result of having excess weight. And I think, as Karen reminds us really, really gently and accurately, it's not about the food. So you could have watched your carbs or eaten less fat, or, you could have done all the right things that the diet experts say you should, but it's not about the food. It's about the relationship that you have with your food. Overeating happens for many reasons. And I can name a few of my own, and you can probably name some of yours. I mean, number one, if you're by yourself and lonely, just feeling like you have a friend in food and it's always there for you and doesn't talk back. It doesn't challenge you. It's like it's your friend. We eat to feel safe. We eat to avoid thinking about something that's on our minds or that is hurting us in some way. We eat to forget. We eat to hide our emotions, basically. And so if you've got an emotional relationship with food that falls into any of those categories, there's things you should be working on there, in my opinion. And I'm talking to myself here as well. So it's not just what we're suggesting that you do. I mean, this is something I need to do as well. I remember for a long time, whenever I had to pay bills or do anything with money, I would immediately grab cookies or cake, nothing healthy. I would always grab the food that was going to, the comfort food. And, and so how are you using food? I mean, are you using it as a friend? Are you using it to numb some unhappiness? Or are you doing it because you really are by yourself and just, what's the point? You've given up, or you're depressed. I mean, it could be as simple as that. And that's something you can do things about. So in this article, Karen actually talks about some questions that you can ask yourself, and in asking those questions, kind of rate your answer. And if it's like 1, then it's like hardly ever, or 0. If it's up in the 10 area, it means like, yeah. And she says all the freaking time. Like I do this all the time. So if it's 0 or 1, low number, it's like I hardly ever do this. And if it's up in the higher numbers, it's something you do all the time. So the first one is, do you eat when you're stressed, or when you have some kind of what she calls chaos brain? You're just stressed. Is that a 0, hardly ever, or do you always eat when you're stressed? Do you eat when you're not hungry, or do you eat until you're stuffed, until you cannot eat anymore? Hardly ever or all the time? Do you eat to feel better, to calm your nerves, to make you just feel more together, more able to deal with something? That's a yes or no. Not at all, or yes, all the time. Do you eat food to reward yourself? Oh gosh, I do this. I even do this now. I say, I'm going to do this video and then I'm going to have a cup of coffee and a cake. Or I say, or when I buy salted caramels, it's like, I'm going to finish this video and then I'm going to have a salted caramel. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to reward myself. I do this all the time. So, it's easy to do. And there's childhood patterns here. The classic of, their children starving and wherever, you eat all your food. And so you do it too. It's like a reward. That's a good girl. And that's one thing she talks about, of getting out of these childhood patterns. Do you stuff your emotions with food? If you're feeling unhappy about something, someone's hurt your feelings, you've had a disappointment, do you then stuff that empty space with food? Hardly ever or all the time? By the way, you can score multiple all the times here. It can be all these things. So numbing yourself with food can be a very effective way of gaining a lot of weight. Another thing is, does your food make you feel safe? Do you feel like all is well with the world when you can just hide away with a couple of tubs of ice cream and you can just eat, and it doesn't matter how much weight you gain because you're safe? You're in a safe place. Is that something, yes or no? Do you eat food for entertainment? And this is hard if you've got kids around, like grandkids particularly, or you've just, you entertain a lot. It's easy to just want to try all these wonderful recipes and, use it as a way of entertaining them and kind of impressing people with your cooking skills. Are you using it as a tool for communication? I think this is a really, really good one too. So I think the point here that Karen's suggesting is that we know that our emotional relationship with food is what is creating the issue with weight. It's not cutting back on this or cutting back on that. We're going to eat if we've got these, I wouldn't say negative, but these challenging relationships with food. And so what she suggests, and I think this is the first time I've actually ever heard anybody give some suggestions what to do, and I'm actually going to try some of these. One is to just stop and breathe. Before you get up and go to the fridge or go to the cupboard to get something, just stop and breathe and do some deep breathing, where you're just literally stopping the movement of your body and breathing, or meditating. Just take a 2-minute break and meditate, and you'll just have time to associate. I was going to go to the fridge because I've got this money worry, and I was going to eat to feel, safer or better. So that's one thing. Do something physical like that. Go for a walk. Another thing is to do something repetitious, like coloring or a puzzle, something that puts your mind focused on some task, and then just do it, and then forget about the food for a bit. Just try to get your thoughts organized by doing something methodical. You can reward yourself with affirmative intentions. And just do it. I'm eating less food when I feel stressed. And it's an I am avoiding nibbling because I feel something. And those are positive affirmations. I'm actually beginning to really believe in these powers of affirmation. I just have had some experiences in the last few months that have really focused my attention on the power of words, of saying things out loud or writing them down. Very, very important. And I was actually going to show you the card. I don't know whether I can get it in my little deck here. My inspirational deck of cards are a little aging beautifully. There's a card in there that says love your body. And I think that if you love your body and have a good relationship with it, you're going to be less likely to turn to food to fill those emotional gaps. So anyway, I think it's a really good article, interesting point of view. And if you've got trouble losing weight, or at least sticking with your desire to lose weight, think about those relationships with food and whether this has helped at all. Thanks, Karen, for the article. Thank you for listening. And please leave your comments in the section below. I mean, how often do you reach for food while knowing that it's not what you really want to be doing? How often do you reach for food, and what triggers your desire to nibble? Anyway, have a really good day. I hope that you have a wonderful, healthy day, and this has helped you to get some handle on the issue if you're trying to lose some weight. I look forward to reading your comments and joining in myself. I'm on this journey with you, and hopefully we'll have a chance to discuss and chat about this in the future too. But have a really wonderful day, everybody. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.